me about your belt buckle.
So I get asked all the time about my belt buckle, and we'll put a picture up there of it. But yeah, this belt buckle, just realized, is 26 years old. That is crazy. So
That's pretty amazing.
this is very worn. It's got a lot of dings, dangs, and scratches and stuff on it. And I've been wearing it for 26 years, which is crazy. But I had this big black mare that took me to state, and we went together, and I think we got 6 belt buckles that year, which was the first time I've ever won a belt buckle in my life. And but it was absolutely amazing. And I wear it because, not only because of that mare, but I've never worked so hard in all my life. I wanted it bad. I put in the hours. I had people critiquing me, my parents helping me, just trying to get every angle correct so that I could actually get it. You get those goals and you get set on them. And and I wear it with pride. I've got the other ones that are all just put away in boxes that I'll pull out like on a special occasion or something like that. And I've worn belt buckles since then, but I feel like that first one that you've worked so hard really lasts forever. And I look at a lot of people and I look at their belt buckles, and it's like, some are bought, some are won, and everybody wears them with such pride. And it's always a humbling experience when people do ask me about it, because again, I did work so hard, and it brings back those memories of what I was doing.
And how hard you worked for it.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because my kids are now hitting the same age as when I got my first buckle, and that's a little scary.
Yep.
I've already got mine. But it's just always interesting because I feel like there's a lot of belt buckles out there now, and everything, and I hope that they mean as much as this one does to me, because I just worked so hard for it, and I wear it every day. It's all scratched up and everything, but yeah, just that sense of pride for something that you work so hard for. And I feel like that was a big turning point in my career, just as a horseman, not my professional career, but my personal career, where I was like, I've got this. I got the tools. Like I'm starting on my journey, and I knew at that point that I was just scratching the surface with my knowledge. But it was like, I've already accomplished these small goals. Like, there's no reason I can't keep going.
Right.
And it served me well, because all that information, and all the stress and all the heartaches and all the effort has really paid off for the rest of my horsemanship career. But just, yeah.
So that one's kind of like where it all started.
Yes. Yeah. I had some good horses before that too, but that one I got her as a 2-year-old, and so it was really, for me, it was about getting her finished out. Yeah. I did not cold start her, but she was already started under saddle, but she was very green. And just had the right mindset. She wanted to work for me, and she's actually the one that my boys started to learn how to ride on.
Aww.
And since she's passed, and everybody can relate to that because we've all lost those horses, but it was one of those things that it was just such a pleasure to have a horse of that quality that could take everybody. But I got to give my mom and dad a lot of credit, because we went through a lot of horses to find the right horses. And sometimes I see people that have the wrong horses for them. There's always a spot for every horse, but my parents were willing to let the horses that were not the right fit go. Like, they didn't have a problem with it. They're like, somebody else will love this horse, it'll be fine. It's just not for us, and it's not for our kids.
Right.
And I think that's just a huge thing, because we buy horses thinking that sometimes they're the right fit for us, and we're like, you know what, no, they're not, or they don't turn out to be what people said they were, or whatever, and I think you've got to be able to let those go. Sometimes people get emotionally attached to those, and then they hold on, and then it's like, they almost get resentful, or they do get resentful, because that horse is not meshing with their goals, what they,
Right.
the personality doesn't match or whatever, and then you're just stuck with something that kind of makes you miserable for a long time. And that's not something that anybody wants. We want people to be happy and feel like they're excited about going out to the barn. I get a lot of phone calls. I talk to a lot of people, and it's interesting the number of people that they get the wrong horse and they start out with such a strong passion. It's almost like it's the wrong horse and it just kills that passion.
Yeah. Or if you're like me and somebody tells you, don't think that's the right horse for you, it just makes you work harder.
Right. You'll have that.
Yeah.
So, but it is, I mean, but also that, we look at that and you worked hard with that horse to get that horse where you wanted. And it's about being willing to put in that effort and understanding that horse has to fit you. And she does fit you.
She does now.
It was a lot of work to get her there, right? Because she's got a lot of motor. She's got a lot of cow in her, and so she's got that heavier drive. And we talk about cow horses, and sometimes, I mean, they are go, 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 and you've got to be able to match them to make that work, and not everybody can.
Yeah.
But what I like about our horses is they are cow bred. But a lot of them, they have enough cow, they can work the cow, but they're not so cowy that they can't handle everyday life.
Right.
So
Right.
it's that nice mixture of cow and pleasure.
Perfect blend.
We sure think so. And a lot of our clients do.
Yeah.
Because they're getting these horses home and they're just absolutely loving them.
Right, and that's just so encouraging for us that we are on the right path.
Yeah. And, and like, going back to Doc, the lady that bought him, and they're just super awesome together, but her goal is to actually hit some shows. And I'm like, this horse can get you there. And not that I needed to tell her that, she could feel that when she was just around him, like that charisma, that match. Like, she's going to go and she's going to do some really cool things with him. And that's always a super exciting
And we're
thing.
so lucky that we get to see that when they click.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
such, you're like, yes, oh, this is the right one.
Yeah. And it's, kind of going on the sales horse side, one interesting thing is the number of people that contact me that say, I've looked at all these horses and none of them, when I go into the barn, match the description of what the people put out there. And I think that's so frustrating from a buyer's standpoint, is you're getting there and you're like, okay, I came for this horse that's on paper, not for this horse I'm seeing in person, which is super disappointing for me. But what I love is when people walk into our barn, what they say is, your horse matched the description. And that to me is just a huge line that means a lot to me, because I do the marketing on our horses.
You do a great job.
And I do the descriptions, and I try to be absolutely as honest as I can, to make sure that they end up in the home that they're best suited for. If a horse doesn't like trails, they don't need to be out on trails. If they don't like the arena, they don't need to be going to a performance home.
And we get them both ways. I mean, there
Yeah.
are some horses that are just not meant to be on a trail.
Yes.
They find it so boring, they can't stand it, and so then they misbehave
Right.
because they're bored out of their head.
Yeah. Or we get them that are like, you know what, this arena stuff is just not for
It's
me.
too
Send
scary
me out
for
on
me.
the trail.
Let me go play out there.
Let me just plod along and have a good day. But it's important that we get those matches. And but I like when people come in and they're like, this is exact matching what the description was, because I feel like I did a good job on my end preparing them so that they're coming into the barn and they're getting what they're expecting, and not getting what they're not expecting. But it's sad in the horse world and the horse industry that we're not advertising these horses correctly. But also on the same side of that, it's perspective. What is light in my hand might be heavy in yours. So I'm like, this horse is light and soft in the bridle, and you're like, this is the heaviest thing I've ever rode. Which, people that get on my horses are like, oh wow, look how light and
Dawn's
soft
a
this is.
little overdone on the light and soft part, because she wants them
I don't like to work hard.
No, they are light. When you get on Dawn's horses, it's like, oh, here.
Yep. But they also know how to handle pressure.
They do. They do.
We, you get some that are so light and soft, and then you put some pressure on them, and they just
Break
blow
apart.
up.
Yeah, no.
And that's not our horses. We try to really make them well-rounded for us, but I don't like a horse pulling on me. It hurts my back, and it takes too much effort for me, so I'm just not into that. But again, going back, it's just nice when we can get those kind of reports that people are like, I got to come see the horse that I expected.
Right.
And I think that's why they buy them. So that is why they buy them, because it's what they're expecting. So.
And I mean, we're honest with them.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't feel like it's a match, we're like, dude, this is not the right one.
Yeah. And we do what we can too to help them. We've had clients that come in looking at one horse, and we get to know the person and see how they ride and those types of things. And then I'm like, you know what? This is a really great horse, but it is not the horse for you. But I think this horse over here is going to be the right match for you. Or I don't have anything. I had to send out an email this morning to an inquiry that was looking for something, and I don't have the match. So I'm keeping them on my list. I've got them. I've got their contact information. So if I get something that's going to suit them, I can shoot it their way and give them the opportunity on that horse. But if I don't have something that's going to match, there's not a whole lot I can do. Yeah. And I don't want to be like, oh yeah, you should buy this other horse that is like the complete opposite of what you want. So I think the sales horse process is definitely a hard one. We're asking the questions. We're trying to make sure we understand what people want, but we're also going to understand these horses. But two, we're not doing quick flips.
No.
So we know these horses. We're invested in these horses. Most of the horses that we sell, we've raced. So golly, we know them.
All the good and all the bad.
Yeah. So like our I guess they're yearlings now. I mean, they all have different personalities.
They're
and we have
long yearlings now. Oh, they'll be starting soon.
They're growing up so fast.
Yes.
But these horses, we've talked, and maybe that's our next video we need to do, is go talk about them, because their personalities are shifting and shaping, and it's interesting too because we have siblings to them. So we're like, oh, Cole's horse is Houdini, and he's out there, he's hitting the show pen, he's going to state, he's doing all the things.
He is.
He's 4
rocking
years
and
old.
rolling with Cole.
He's only 4 years old, and he is out there with a 13-year-old just rocking it up like he's an old gelding, just doing the thing.
Loving it.
And his brother is C3PO.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing C3, like the same qualities I saw in Dini, I'm seeing in C3PO.
Yes.
And it's like, this is cool because we've seen other siblings of theirs.
Right.
And they're just headed down the road, the same type of path. And even we start getting into like your Mona and Chisholm,
and
our
they're
full siblings.
brother and sister, and they're so similar.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we have Cisco, who's coming on, and he's a full sibling too. So we're really excited because now we kind of know what to expect with him, because we know that this will carry forward. It has on everything so far.
Well, but even looking at him as an individual, he's showing me the personality traits that those two showed me. And so it's really cool because it's like, oh, here we come. Here's the third one.
Well, and I mean, like Jazz is really, he's blowing my mind because he's Eb's brother.
Yeah, he's gonna be cool.
And he is so like her in personality.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll be with you, but let's go do something.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's Mr. Chill Guy about it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like,
he's too cool for school, which is why he's called Jazz.
yeah. He's jazzy.
But yeah, it's interesting to kind of see the lines and kind of like the personalities that are coming along. And we've done, golly, at least 50 of Blackie's babies by now. And we know what he passes along. We know the personality traits that he passes along. We know the trainability on him. and his offspring. And so it's interesting because we've been able to do so many of his babies. We know what we're expecting. And I think that one of the biggest tall tale signs is when Dan's like, that's the stock I want to ride, because he loves them. He's like, I know every colt exactly what I'm getting on. I'm not like Jacqueline hiding it or 50 first dates. He's like, this is just like, we get in, we get it done, we move on. I got the personalities. They're all just a little different there. But when Dan likes them, that's always a good sign.
That's a big deal.
And then it's always fun when he's like, okay, here you go. Ready for you.
This
And
one's
I'm
ready
like,
for you now.
yes.
Yay, it's my turn. What's really telling is when he doesn't really want to give them to you.
Yeah, and I have to steal them from him.
You have to go, look, this horse really needs me now, not you anymore.
Yeah, and it's always interesting because we really fall in love with these horses, especially when we get to spend some time with them. And
if you ever come and look at a horse and Dan says, you don't want that one, that's because Dan loves that horse. He's like, no, I don't want to sell that one yet. I'm like, but that's the perfect horse for them. He's like, I don't know if I want to sell that one yet.
And he will if it's the perfect match.
Yes.
But yeah, he gets a little protective on his ponies.
The ones that he's really, really,
the ones he wants to keep and hang on to and stuff. Yeah, we were talking with a friend and they're like, oh, so how long are you gonna keep that one? And we're like, oh, I don't know, a couple months, couple years.
couple decades,
couple decades, whatever. And Dan's just like, I'm just not in a hurry to sell him because I'm excited and
I'm having fun riding.
Yeah, and actually that one's Chisholm that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I'm fine if he sticks around for a couple years. And,
He's so
4
cool.
to 5 year old because he's going to be stellar.
He's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about him too.
Yeah, he's got the right mindset. He's easygoing. He takes everything in stride. He's gorgeous. He's Palomino.
He's a pretty Palomino.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
That smoky Palomino. It's got that darker cast to it and the dapples and whoop.
Yeah. So just exciting. You kind of get to see the bloodlines and see how those move out and stuff. We've already got is it 3 or 4 babies on the ground right now?
4.
4 this year.
One yet to go.
One more to go. So
Maybe.
If she'll release the beast.
Release the captive.
But yeah, so that'll be exciting, and then we've got.
And this year too, the babies. There's 2 that will be out of Blackie's son that Terry has kept as a stud prospect.
Yeah.
The first 2 that are on the ground, they're what? A month and maybe 3 months old.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I'm excited.
Yeah. See what
they're
Gunny's,
beautiful. He's really
Gunny
so far
thinks.
thrown some really pretty, really stellar looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm interested to see if Gunny's babies follow along the same line as Blackie babies.
And then we're going the other way too, because this is the first year that I'm breeding a Blackie daughter.
Yes.
So we'll see what the mares do next year. That'll be exciting to see what we pull through. So man, was that a search for the right stud to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, because we got Easter and she's bred to a highbrow cat.
He's a dual ray.
Oh, okay.
Dual ray and Pepto-Bismol.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. He's a beautiful horse. A bay roan, so we've got a really good chance of a bay or a bay roan. Some other cool small possibilities.
And he's been placing in the cutting, is that right?
Yeah, he's a money earning cutter.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's your department. I just ride them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so super excited about that. And there's just so many things that are really going on. Like all these Blackie babies, we've had them. They're hitting the roping pin. They're hitting the cutting pin. They're
hitting the trails.
Local shows,
sorting pins.
Big in the sorting pins.
Sorting pins are there. They really excel at sorting, I think.
Yeah. So just lots of avenues, but I feel like a lot of them are going to be just working ranch horses, where they're actually getting on people's properties and doing a job.
Doing the job.
And that's important too. That's the part that I like. I like getting out and using the horses, and just this morning I took Ebbs out and
Moved them cows.
moving cows from one pasture to the next, and just kind of pushing things around. So I think it's important, and Ebbs, she loves the job anyway, but I think it's good to get out. I enjoy it because it's like, hey, get out of the arena, get out of, doing some other things.
Do a little sunshine.
Yep. Get out, and I love training out in the fields. It's just a lot of fun. Just
They learn a lot.
yeah, give them something to do with their mind and their feet, and
Also helps build their confidence in yours and them, because I mean, if you can go out and they get distracted and you can bring them back, it shows you that even if they lose it for a minute, you can get them back, and that's important.
oh, that's huge. Yeah,
That's
I feel like that's a big thing that a lot of horses miss, is that comeback cue, where it's like, I do this and your attention comes back, and it's got so much repetition that it's like come back until you've got that horse all the time. And where we deal with so many young horses, you've got to keep asking them to come back to you. They're kids, they go squirrel a little bit, and it's
They
like,
can't
come
help
back to me. But what I like is the repetition of it, because I like to go out. I like when they're they get distracted, and I teach them to come back. But if they're never distracted, I can't teach them to come back, which never happens anyway. But they're always distracted by something. But when I know that I can bring that horse back to me, and I've got that cue that says, hey, come back to me. Everything's fine if you listen to me. And build that connection with them. It's just great, because especially when people come and they're looking at these horses and they're going to take them home, I'm like, here's the come back to me cue.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is that? It's like, no, this is the cue that helps your horse come back to you. It's just ingrained. Like, and a lot of times it's just inside leg, inside rein. That's my go-to. And when they feel that, they say, yes, ma'am, I'm coming back. And it takes a while to instill that. And that's the thing we all forget, is that it takes so much time to instill those things.
Because you got to start small.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can pull them back for just a few seconds, even, and they get it, and
Do it again.
do it again, because they're going to lose their focus again.
Yeah. But I think too, we talk about the horses. We're always looking for that horse. But as horsemen, we have to be better, because that horse is either going to come up to our level or drop down to their level, or to our level. And we want to be bringing up as a partnership. But if we have zero awareness of our legs, our seat, our hands, what we're doing with our vocals, like any of those things, and we're just flopping around like a fish out of water, how is that going to help that horse? Like, if we are a bad rider, we've got to be better. And I'm not saying you've got to be the best rider, but you've got to try.
No, because we do we call it drunk riding on our horses, to make sure that if you are one of those, that if you flop and move and do whatever, they're not going to lose their mind on you.
Absolutely.
That they're not so stiff and can only respond to one thing. I mean, I think that's one of the things we do that it's fun to do, first of all, and it's so good for them. It makes them so solid that even if you put your leg in the wrong place, that they don't lose their mind. If you spur them too hard, they don't lose their mind. They just look at you and go, well, what are you trying to tell me? And I love that we do that, put that on those horses. I mean, I think probably from all the years that I had horses that didn't, you sat like a rock on them, or you were going to go for a ride.
Yeah.
And it's so nice now to know that if your foot slips, or if they jump and you spur them accidentally, which I have done, that they're not gonna go ballistic, that they can still come back to you. They may jump forward because you scared them a little bit, but they come right back. Yeah, they're like, sorry.
Yeah, and I think that's important. We always think about, like, I want this really cool spin, I want this big stop, I want this big side pass, I want this nice 2-track. And we want to do all these sensitizing exercises. We want them to get lighter, softer, move off of our leg, do all these things. But if we don't come back and desensitize them or teach them like that not every movement means something, we will get lots of really cool moves, but we won't be able to move at all because if we move wrong, then they are going to overreact. That's always been important for us, as you talked about, like going out and just making sure that we can just leisurely ride too, and flop our legs around and throw our hands around, whatever,
our reins or whatever,
just because they've got to learn to handle both sides of the pressure.
Yep.
They've got to, unfortunately, they have to figure out what they need to pay attention to and what they don't need to pay attention to, and that's a skill all in itself. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun. I feel like we like room.
We do. That's us soon. Down the rabbit hole.
Yep. But this has been a lot of fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. But keep following us. We're going to keep coming back and talking about the things that we talk about all the time here in the barn.
Yep.
So this is great. We're really enjoying it. I hope you are too. Share it with your friends. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.